One parting thing I'll just say is there's a really, really beautiful idea that I love in psychology called psychological flexibility. And I think when you really understand time as a tool, it creates that flexibility, even with what you were saying, Amy, about, he doesn't hit the 500. And so now he's rigid about how he feels about it, right? It's like, no, it takes massive flexibility to immediately just create a past that is really powerful. And so even,
I like that.
and so the ability to set new goals and then think from those goals and be willing to look at your current situation. My son Caleb been saying this academy no longer works based on that goal. To strategize from the goal and look for new pathways, even a new identity, right? Is takes a lot of flexibility, but also the flexibility of continuously creating the past in such a way that it's benefiting you in the present.
Yes.
Even if things appear to be falling apart, even if things didn't go well. Yesterday, dealing with 4 teenagers, which I have, often our life looks like a mess, right? On a daily basis. And it's like, okay, how am I going to decide what yesterday means? It takes a lot of flexibility for me not to say, this is exactly what it means, and this is what it always means, and this person's wrong, and I'm right. It's like, no, there's
I like
a different
that
way.
Flexibility.
Yeah, and so I think that this creates a huge amount of flexibility because, yes, you need to adopt a new identity to achieve future goals, but at the same time, you have to eventually let go of that identity to then pursue the ones beyond them. And so, as an example, me writing these 3 books with Dan, like I went all in and I was excited about those books because they were completely different from the books I was writing before. And so they led me to different forms of knowledge, understanding, and learning that I wouldn't have had I not gone for those. But while writing those, my future, dramatically elevated such that collaboration became below the new floor. And so I had to let go of that, including all of the benefits of being there. And that's not my identity anymore. But I'm very grateful for my past stuff. I'm grateful for what I learned, but the letting go of old ideas, old stories, is a super skill, and it's super important. And I will just say to the idea of risk real quick. You share this. It's not that risky. Like genuinely, like me letting go of that collaboration. A lot of people told me not to do it, but it was actually my future self that got me into that situation. It's my future self that got me out, my next level future self. And so it's just not as risky as people think.